Hello, everybody. I'm not. Okay, I'm gonna say
Hey
that
sis,
to
how are
you.
you?
Hey, sis.
We here.
Oh, girl. I just
We
had to
here.
here. We here. We here.
I'm
How
glad
are
that we don't
you?
have to go into work
Hey.
tomorrow. So I'm
Hello.
I'm sitting on that right
So
now. It's
excited about
also
that.
still All-Star weekend, so get to see the rest of the game tonight.
Yes. Yes. I'm gonna
Seven,
say
I
that
think it
is
starts
on at what,
7:30.
8:30?
Mhm.
Oh, 7:30. Okay, okay. Well, we're gonna be real quick tonight then. Hey, everybody who's joining us, let us know you're here in the
Let us know
comments.
how your week went.
Send it to your people. That part too. That part too. Just a second for me. I can't
I
believe
know. I
we're
feel like they're
episode
moving. The
6.
fact
Look
that we're
at
at 6 is
us.
crazy.
Right. We're moving right along. Hey, original Pocahontas. Hey, Lucy. Girl, I just had a whole scare though.
Mhm.
I was having Sunday dinner with my parents, and my dad like starts choking. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, you know, he plays a lot, so I'm
He
like,
was
oh, he's
serious.
joking. But no, his eyes got big.
I
My
said
eyes
he was
got,
serious.
huh? Very serious. So we had to do like the Heimlich
Oh no,
maneuver.
I'm
And I was just like,
glad he's okay.
I was, yeah, too, girl. Me too. Because it would have been a
That's a
whole,
lot. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
lot.
me
But
too.
we're thankful.
Yes.
All is well. Thank God people actually know how to do it properly.
Okay, I'm like, oh my gosh, I never thought I would have to do this in life, but here we are. But yeah, he's fine, thank God. So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for Take Up Space, episode 6. We hope that you're ready to engage with us, and that you watched. If you're new here, that you watched episodes 1 through 5. If not, it's always a great time to catch up. You know, we got an off day tomorrow. Why not see what we all
Right.
about over here and taking up space? Um, yeah, so we're gonna jump into it to not keep you on too long this evening. Um, let's let
Whew.
loose. Let's let loose.
Letting
What we letting
loose.
loose of?
As
What
I
we getting
told you,
rid
I
of?
was telling Lauren earlier, it's been a week. So I am letting
Yes.
loose of doubting myself in new areas before trusting that God placed me there. And learning how to say,
Mm,
well, okay, learning to say no more. So like I'm actually setting those boundaries, but 100% doubting myself before I'm even like leading on. I'm here for a reason. So I'm definitely
yeah.
letting loose of those feelings and just leaning in the fact that I'm meant to be here and I'm going to own the space that I'm in.
Yes.
What about you?
Yes. 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 I love that for you. No. So, first of all, sorry. Let me cut this music off. I am. You know, this past week has been very trying in multiple areas. Just to give like a quick little update for I don't know when this was a owning like
Mm-hmm.
part for me, but or owning moment about like my voice or whatever. But I am definitely letting loose of waiting for an invite to like create my own table or to like speak my mind. Like that is no longer a thing, and I actually lived in that this past week, so we'll get to that. But definitely letting loose of waiting for an invitation to come my way in any aspect of life, whether that's my personal life, business, work, whatever it looks like. No longer waiting to be
Yeah.
given a seat at the table. No. We're on and we're making space at the table.
Yeah. Just
So
showing up.
yeah. I know.
You said what?
Yes, just showing up.
Oh yeah.
The
Hey,
space. I
hey
think your
Steph.
friend
I was
said
like,
yes,
even gotta
hair
get
or just
curly.
hair.
Come on, curls.
Talk about you, girl.
But
What's
I'm
up,
here
brother
for
James?
us
Right?
showing up for ourselves. As we
Yeah.
talk about taking up space, a large part of taking up space is using our voices. And I'm glad that you had a week where you were able to practice that even through a trying time. I feel like this week was just that week that the enemy was just trying to take us down, because from Monday through Friday, I felt attacked completely and I was just not here for it. But I was just thankful. Like, I got through Friday and was just like, I truly feel like God carried me through this week when I didn't have the strength to like continue. I just like leaned in on, what are you calling for me to do? Yeah, whew. I was like, I know we said we're not going to be long today, but just for anyone who has had a week, just make sure that just as much as we sit here and pray to get through it, we also show that praise and thanksgiving publicly for him getting us through. So,
Right. Yes, ma'am. Listen, I'm really trying to stay focused
everywhere.
because my mind is a wreck right now. Like, I can't even, I'm not even gonna lie, like my mind is all over the place. But I definitely think that there is
Mm-hmm.
a lot of like attacking going on. And this is something I wanted to talk about like in our Bobby section, as far as like spiritual
Mm-hmm.
wisdom that we need to be talking about more. Um, so we'll get there, we'll get there, we'll get there. But let's like own some things. And if y'all are listening or and tuned in the conversation, what are some things that you from this past week have like reflected upon and said, you know, this is something I release and let go of, let loose from. If there's like anything that you've reflected upon this past week, let us know. Of course, this is again a mental health, wellness, faith-based space, so we are here for it all.
Yeah.
Take up as much space as you possibly would want to or can in this digital
Yeah.
space
And
with us.
I'll
So,
say, even
and
if
hey,
like, you know, you're watching this like on a playback or something, you still want to share, always hit us in the DMs. Like, we welcome the conversation. Take Up Space isn't only on these lives, like it's a community. So yeah, if you have anything that you're letting loose of that you want to own as we move into this section, go ahead and drop it in the comments so that Lauren and I are just not talking our heads off here. We enjoy talking to one another, but we definitely love to hear from you all.
that part, that part, this is for us. Um,
Ooh.
so what are we owning this week, my
So
dear?
I am owning, okay, well, I'll go into, as I said, doubting myself was what I was letting loose of. I continuously heard this week that I would not place you in a situation that where I'm placing you in a situation to dream bigger. And I was just like, okay, like in those uncomfortable places, I am owning dreaming bigger and writing them down, setting time to actually pray on them for, and not just like saying it and keeping it pushing, but really focusing on what I feel like God is speaking to me on, and leaning heavy on community, because I would not have got through this week without community. Even I reached out to Lauren, was like, girl, I need some prayers, like send it up. I
Yeah.
own all of that. I own dreaming bigger, leaning on community, and making sure that I'm taking all of those dreams to God.
Okay. So how are we owning that? Because
We
we
do.
gotta also think about the practice. You can't just be like, yeah, I'm doing this. Like, what does that practically look like in our
Practically,
lives?
dreaming bigger for me, I would say, due to like the environment that I'm in. So for people that don't know that they're tuned in, so I work in my old high school, but I work 3 different jobs and it's a lot. It's a lot of things that happen, but I never really saw myself in this position before. I work within the admissions program coordinator for young women's entrepreneurship and teaching. So I'm still connected to entrepreneurship, but the admissions aspect of it, I never really saw myself. But this past week, I had to like go up some levels above what my position was. And it was just like, I really have to own dreaming bigger and knowing that the same thing that I'm doing in a business, I literally could take to any position. So just because it doesn't have the
Mm-hmm.
necessarily title that I thought that it should be, does not mean that I can't bring that same energy that I would with my business. So I think
Yes.
it's the
Yes.
action behind that and showing up as that entrepreneur, taking lead, making sure I'm sharing, utilizing the leadership into whatever position. And sometimes that can be uncomfortable because like a lot of people do view titles as what we should go by. But at the end of the day, I'm all about work ethic. I'm all about showing up and remembering the why, because I came back to the school for the girls. So I'm going to make sure that I'm doing everything that I can to enhance the girls. And yeah, I felt I was about to get real preachy, but that's a whole nother topic.
Girl, take up space. Do not hold back, okay? What if it comes up, it needs to come
That's
out.
the whole entire thing, because I feel like I have run into people necessarily being threatened by the way that I do show up. And I've had to be like, I'm sorry, like I'm favored. I can't sit here and hold back my gifts to make someone else feel comfortable. And this past week was that week for me of being like, you know, like I have to set those boundaries. And even if it is within this position and I may be doing more than what my position necessarily is, at the end of the day, I know I'm on assignment coming to this school, so I'm not going to disappoint or not give my best for the assignment that I've come to, because everybody has different assignments, but I'm focused on mine and mine alone. And it was a big wake up call. Like it was a big wake up call for me this past week. So I'm trying to say enough without saying enough. So
Girl, listen, you said it, and I think that's extremely important to make sure like you understand your boundaries, because I think a lot of talk in our community, especially in the wellness space, in the Black community, is like boundaries, protecting my. But it's like if you don't respect your boundaries or honor your boundaries, then you can't expect anyone else to either. And so like you have to be the one to hold yourself accountable in those spaces where it's like, actually, this is my assignment. I can't worry about how you feel about it. I got to do what I have to do to make sure the purpose is lived and manifest, right? So I understand that wholeheartedly, because it's kind of similar. I feel like we always say this, but it's like we in alignment. But like this past week at work, it was like a point where I had to like say, okay, what is my thought about this situation? Like not necessarily being influenced by what others were saying, but really understanding, taking time, one, to reflect, not necessarily being impulsive and saying something out of anger or out of like, what this person said, yeah, I believe that too. Like I really had to sit back, reflect, and be like, this is how this has impacted me because such and such. And I don't want to say too much because but I had to like use my voice and make a stand. You know, I felt was something that needed to be said from my point of view and my perspective. And so I don't know why this is like the second time this has happened, like in the span of a month, maybe even 2 months. I was like I'm forced to, even with my hands shaking, palms sweaty, shaky voice, like use my voice in a public forum setting, like in a meeting setting, as well as like via email. And it's like by doing this, I'm encouraging myself, one, to be bold in what I believe in, like what I know is truth, right? And two, being able to speak that so that others may feel the same empoweredness and courage and boldness to do the same. And so I already know that that's not me, it's for other people as well. And I can't get scared by the assignment. I just had to live in it and trust, okay, trust that God gonna have me, because baby, when I look to the right, when I look to the left, it don't look like people like me. I'm just, one of few. So it's like, okay.
You just preached the whole entire word. And I feel like it does come back to when you're on assignment, our assignments aren't always necessary for us to get the answers. It's also to show others what should be done. And that's a huge reason why when we do lean on God and we are leaning on prayers and asking for specific things, the answers that we're getting may not be what we want, but it could be in people, it could be in a message. And I know for me, the sister circle, some of them on here right now, shout out to y'all, like they literally held me down when it felt like I didn't have anything else to get. Like I was at work till 10:30 at night on a Wednesday. Like that's what I'm talking about. And people coming back and supporting you. And when you're walking into the office before everything gets chaotic, like we need to pray. Like I've never been in an experience or a work situation like this with all the other things that may be going on. But for people to bring faith to the forefront, where it literally changes so much and has made the assignment better, because I know that it's reaching more. I know that it's a bigger thing. And although we may be going through so many different emotions on a day-to-day, and we're growing through all this uncomfortability, at the end of the day, it's the reassurance that I feel like God is saying, I've placed people here, I've done all of this for a reason. Like, it's all going to come together, and it's only a matter of time before everything comes to the forefront of what God has for us. But we're in the fire, but we're not burning. Like, we just getting better.
Hello. That's just getting better.
Yes.
A little refinement happening. That's all that is. Refinement. And I'm fine with that.
Refine
me.
I think when we were saying here preaching, some people said some things in the chat. Letting loose from the past and focus on the now and what's in store for me in the future. I'm here for that. Got to move forward and not look back. I think it's good to look back, just seeing how far we've come, but just being able to focus on the present and making sure that we are moving forward in the path that God has for us.
Agreed.
What else we got? Yep, we in the fire, but we not burning, Sebastian.
Someone said they're owning oh, that's Corey. Hey, Corey. Said, I'm owning a positive self-talk. Yes. There's no room for negative self-talk up in here. No, ma'am. No, sir. No. And I think that kind of happens when you do take a look back, right? And I'm all for, like, the whole Stand Kofa movement. Like, yes, you got to look back in order to go forward. However, some things,
absolutely,
you don't need to look back upon, because it's only going to put you in a mind state that does not make state or spiritual state either. And so that could also be an attack on your spirit. So yes, keeping yourself mindful of where you're headed is definitely key. That's the passion, the light shining too bright on him. Okay, too bright on him.
Moving.
What they say now? Yes. Hello, everyone joining. So, okay, you already owned yours. I don't even know what I'm owning this week. I just think that as I continue to move forward, trusting I'm on the right path, that things are like being shown to me, like it's just more clear now. And so what I'm owning is like just the process of being more intentional with my life, and also giving myself a bit of grace. Like, I know last week or 2 weeks ago, I was owning like being in a like my wellness journey. So kind of slipped up this past week, not gonna lie, because I had flat iron my hair.
That is such a real statement.
and it's just too much cardio involved in the journey that I'm taking right now, my wellness. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to sit that one out. But good news is, Black girls, I'm getting my hair braided tomorrow, so we're gonna be back on that journey. So owning.
I said, what type of braids are we doing? I stopped the whole conversation. I heard braids and was like, ooh, what are we doing? Box? We doing?
I'm getting me some knotless, small, with the little bohemian curl. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, so we're gonna switch it up a bit, but yes, I'm hopeful that that's going to. I know it's going to help me get back on track with my wellness journey, but also just like making sure that I give myself grace. Like, we gonna mess up sometimes, and it's fine. I just don't need to stay down. You know what I mean? Like, I just gotta own it. So that's what I'm owning. Not necessarily being too hard on myself, but making sure that I don't make it a pattern. I don't fall back into that like pattern of, oh, okay, well, that was cute and fun for a moment. It's like, no, absolutely, this is a lifestyle change. So yeah. What are y'all owning? We see some people in here, but y'all, what, pick up some space, ladies and gents. What are we owning? What is something that you're held accountable for?
Owning or letting loose doesn't have to be anything too crazy either. Like, it literally could be like, you just want to own waking up on time, like not hitting your alarm so many times. Like, these are all realistic.
I know somebody on this chat who need to hear that. That's hard.
That word was for them because it just came out. Like,
yeah. Yep. Um, okay, well, y'all have nothing that y'all want to put in the chat or jump on. Y'all know y'all can request to come on live too. Like, Joy to see y'all and engage in y'all face to face, engage with y'all face to face. Come on. All right. So let's jump into our vibey section where we talk about cultural happenings, you know, whether it's in the faith space, wellness space, whatever. I guess we gotta start with the Super Bowl.
We did talk about it. Obviously it's sad that the Eagles lost. Before we switch into it, I see we do have a owning. I want to own being more present. Yes, Justin. That is a huge one. I feel like that's something that we all can relate to. Making sure that we are just present in the moment, because it is so easy to get distracted, or as we say, have squirrel moments where you're just like, you go from one thing to the next. And I will also say, especially just like with big events and different things that are coming up, if it's birthdays, like I know for 93 babies, like we'll be turning 30, and I feel like that is a huge, you look at that milestone and you're just like looking at that number at that time, and you're just focused on the present or the future instead of just getting, take day by day to get to that moment. Or it could be like other things, like you could be buying a home, or just saving up to start your business. But in order to get to the future, you do have to focus on the present and give your all in that moment so that you can be your very best for the future.
Yes, ma'am. Being present. I was just talking about that the other day too. Like, I need to. Okay, I guess this is something I can own. Doing a timed, like, what's it called? To-do list. Like making sure, like, I time out my tasks, so I'm not like 3 things at once. Like literally, this task I need to dedicate 20 minutes to. This one maybe 30. This one maybe like 14. So like just making sure that I'm being productive when I do sit down to work, because my brain be going all over the place. Like literally about, I don't know, cleaning out my car, and then the next moment I'm like, oh, well, I wonder what happened to this piece of jewelry, or like I don't know if it was ADHD, but it's just
I definitely,
I don't know, but
agree. I found, when it comes to like work, Google Calendars, where it has like the little task calendar where you can like kind of map out, I will block out whatever, and it will continuously pop up, and it's a great reminder. When I get home, that's the struggle though, because I'm removed. I mean, still, but it's like, when you're at work, there's things that it's like, if you needed to call, if somebody was on your spirit, you need to reach out to them, you need to call them. It's just like prioritizing, as you just said, prioritizing everything that you need to do, because we can't just give our all at work. Like, we still got to come home and do something. And I feel like that's something that I am continuously working on, especially when it is busy seasons where I'm at work till 10:30 at night, which is ridiculous. But
yeah, we have to catch 10 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll chat about that.
No, man. Yes, we won't have to. All right. Cindy said, owning my success and finishing what I start always. Yes, that finishing what you start is nothing but the truth.
That's a word.
That's all.
That's a word.
Is finishing what you start, for sure. Even when it gets hard, like, all right, why did I start this in the first place? What brought me to this point of life to like really push me forward? So yes, I'm
sorry. Go ahead. I was saying, going towards what Cindy said. One of my coworkers, actually during like this hectic week that we had, she was like, we need to stop focusing on, or it's better to not focus on like putting a time on it. So say it's like, I want to finish this project within an hour. Don't focus on the hour, just focus on completing it. Because when you get like to that hour, you're just like, okay, like I'm past my hour. But if you're only focusing on completing it, you just knock it out without actually putting a time to it, and you'll get it done quicker compared to like either rushing yourself or getting frustrated when you're not at that point in time. So owning success and making sure that you're finishing what you start. So just another way to look at it.
That's true. Now I don't know if that will work for me because I started something like the end of January. I'm still every day it gets moved over to the next day. Like it just keeps moving to moving.
Well, I'm glad you told me, because now I'm gonna be like, did you finish it? But
see, I know. I'm gonna finish it. It's gonna get done this month. That's all I'm saying. I don't know when, but it'll be this month, February. I got a few more days left. All right, y'all. So let's move on to our vibe. I think we were going to do Super Bowl reactions. You were talking about you were sad
I was sad.
Eagles lost. I was
we're
too.
Eagles household. It was a good game though, and I will say this is probably the first time I've ever watched a Super Bowl like straight through. And I grew up in a football household, but never was like fully into it. But now I'm kind of at that point where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm here for it. But it was a really good game.
Yeah, it was a really good game. I enjoyed it. Right into the last few moments, I think I was just upset. I had to like,
I know,
like I can't believe this to win. Oops. I was like, I cannot believe this. I'm ready to go. Like, but it was a good game. It was a good game. And Rihanna, like, I had to defend my good sis because people were saying it was so mediocre. It was boring. She gave what she was supposed to have gave, okay? I mean, the lady just had a baby, and she's pregnant again. She is more, at this point, she hasn't performed in how many years? At this point, she is not an artist. She's a businesswoman. She say, listen, y'all gonna get this catalog, and y'all enjoy it, okay? Because I don't know if y'all gonna get no new music. And like she ain't never been no boom cat girl, right? Like she ain't never been no I'm a dance for y'all. She's been you gonna get this little gyrate right here, a little right.
The
my dancers will dance for y'all, but me,
the dancers
I loved
served down. And we just talked about this on our last episode where we were just like, you know, Rihanna she may not be placed in the category of being like this amazing performer, but she gave a show. And honestly, I feel like this was her, okay, y'all, I'm done. Like, y'all have seen my catalog. This is it. She's such an amazing businesswoman. Like, she started off in music and has evolved so much. Now, I really don't see her going back to like being all in music. Like, I just as she's done, you know, for movies or different things, you'll probably get new music. I heard that she said she was coming out with some different things, but I would not have my hopes up for a whole new album. Like,
yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Even though I would love to see her in concert because I missed my opportunity, but you know, I wish her the best, especially since her family's growing. I know this is something that she's always wanted because I'm like a real Rihanna fan. Like she's always wanted a family. So like I'm glad sis is prioritizing that as we talk here, prioritizing what you want. And I have to ask, I'm a t-shirt legend. What does sexy Rihanna look like? I mean, what wasn't sexy about her? She gotta be fully can't be fully clothed and sexy.
I mean, she was pregnant. Like she was giving red, she was giving red lips, she had long pony, like she
she turned around and gave y'all a little doo-doo. I mean, you know, gave y'all sexy Rihanna. You must be talking about what's my name? No, talk that
she's
talk
past
album.
that point though. Like I feel like, you know, she just evolved.
She is past that point, right? And sexy to multiple people. So I was just about sexy Rihanna, like what are we talking about? So you can take your time and respond. But let's move on to something a little bit more serious. I don't know if you had time because I didn't.
I can catch up. You go ahead and lead it.
All right. So there were comments made. Okay. I'm that don't mean she said she was covered up. And I know. this is gonna be a topic for another conversation. We're gonna get to that. So yes, Tiffany Montgomery is a prophetess, and she made a comment while she was at, I don't know, I think it was like some conference that she was attending or speaking at, where she said that you should be ashamed of yourself, or you shouldn't call yourself Christian going to the Beyonce concert if you're going to the Beyonce concert. Now, there have been talks about Beyonce being demonic, her referencing gods, her dressing up as different what is that religion? Saying, oh gosh, it's drop Santeria religious gods, and such. And so calling her demonic because of that, people were up in arms about the church girl song. There was a song on her album where she was like, I'm a god. I think that's in Cuffit, or is it's in one of the songs. Anyway, she was really upset, and was basically saying, well, I shouldn't say she was upset. I take that back. She made a statement during her sermon that said Christians should be ashamed, or how dare you call yourself a Christian if you're going to the Beyonce concert. Jackie Hill Perry also followed up about her having to release her fandom of like Beyonce because of like the same things that she picked up and blah, blah, blah. And so I just wanted to like do a little deep dive in this as to why everything that is not westernized or comes from the Bible, it seems to be demonic. And I say this as a Christian. I say this as someone who has studied the Bible. I say this as someone who references the Bible, but doesn't necessarily see the Bible as a first primary source in life when it comes to religious experiences or faith-based, not but like faith. It is a source, but it's not the only source, right? And so why do we like demonize other religious practices that have been known to us prior to westernized Christianity, right? Like our ancestors on the continent of Africa practiced a lot of these things, and it could be questioned about things in the Bible that was also considered witchcraft or magic, right? How did Jesus pour in the wine? You know, how did the Red Sea turn to be the Red Sea? You know, it's like those kind of things. Like, we could go back and forth, but why do we have to demonize people for religious beliefs that are different than ours? That's the question. I don't know if people saw her
the quote
comment or
she specifically said, any of you who are going to Beyonce's concert, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. How dare you call yourself a Christian? I don't care what pastor you got. That is okay with it. That was her quote. She rebuked you. And so now as the I Am T-shirt legend said, first of all, nobody's perfect. Like, not at all. But you can't sit here and be like, I'm gonna rebuke you for going to a concert. We cannot tell people what to do with their own coin. We cannot tell people who they can listen to or what they can do. Like, at the end of the day, people cannot sit here and assume because Beyonce may get idolized that she sees herself in that way. You can't control what people are necessarily doing in reaction of her, but you're at that point you're kind of demonizing Beyonce due to other people and how they support her. So it's mixed. We're I cannot talk right now. Signals here in what she's really trying to say. But anyone who's choosing to go to the Beyonce concert, let them enjoy themselves. Like, you can't tell them that they're not a Christian just because they are going to enjoy Beyonce and they want to get a good cuff it and they want to get a good break my soul dance out. Like, let them enjoy it, but that doesn't define who you are as a Christian, because I feel like people think that you have to be in this clear-cut box in order to be a Christian. That is not what at all. Jesus did not only sit here and have dinner with people who were just like him. He did the complete opposite. Hello. So for us to sit here and be like, oh, you have to be better, that's the issue with honestly, that's the issue with the Black church. But that is the issue with people who try to group what a Christian is, because Jesus is love. So how can we sit here and say that you can't love or extend to someone else, but you sit here and demonstrate hate towards them. Like,
hello, that part. To it's just those, and it's those harmful theologies, right, or ideologies, like beliefs about God or the Bible, because the Bible can be an idolized item as well. Because I come from my state in the theology of like, I believe in a living God, a living spirit. So not only are the testimonies, because that's what they are to me, and I'll speak solely for myself in this, testimonies of other people in the Bible, right? So like the Gospels are testimonies to me, right? So we, as those people heard from God, we also hear from God, right? And so our lived experiences are also our testimonies, also our experiences with God and with other people. And so for someone to say, I rebuke you for finding an outlet, especially a Black woman saying this, was just really discouraging for me, because it's like, dang, you have boxed yourself so much into this like unrealistic relationship with Jesus that you can't even really experience the real joy, the real love, the real kindness that Jesus was trying to get y'all to see in the first place. Like, so it just really left me baffled that we continue to see the same harmful theologies repeated, that people are eating it up. Which is why I said we need spiritual wisdom earlier on. It's like, you have to know that you know God for yourself, right? You have to know then in relationship with a God that mirrors the lived experience that you are having, right? You have to make sure that you know that God, and don't allow other people, just because they may be in a position, maybe because they have been appointed to a position, whatever position they may hold, to have rank over your life. Read the Bible for yourself, right? Talk to God for yourself, and know for yourself what that relationship means, and that impact in your life. Because if not, people will be out here led astray. And I don't judge anyone for believing what they believe if it's impactful for them. And that's where I think a lot of Christians get hung up
we are
at,
not
when
meant to
it's like,
judge. We are not, even to
yeah,
someone
that's
who
all you
you
got to do.
completely dislike, who you would never interact with. At the end of the day, you're still not supposed to put hate towards them. God tells you to pray for them. Like, so how do we even get like, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, when people who have done harm to us, God says, pray for them? Like, how does this happen? Because just as she's sitting here saying, like, I rebuke you for going to the Beyonce concert, I mean, the same could be done in terms of, like, I don't really know Tiffany Montgomery like that, but just going on her website and everything, someone can sit here and say that in terms of how she's using her finances, how she's using her platform and being a prophetess, like, of what she's sharing and saying to people, that they could rebuke her. Like, you just can't think that it's going to be one-sided in terms of what someone is thinking. And yeah, like, this is just very interesting. Yeah. Like, what else has she actually done?
I don't know. I've heard of her like in years past, like she was a conference speaker, but I never really like gelled too much with her theology, because like we are on two different spectrums of what we believe God, or who God is, and so I really haven't tapped into her. But when I heard this, when it was brought to my attention and she said this, I said, oh, okay, I got it. I don't yet necessarily have a public opinion on a lot of things, but when it is harmful to Black bodies, and when it is harmful to Black women in particular, in a space that is supposed to liberate them, I'm definitely going to say something, because that's the I do. It's like I am in line. Like, I think I'm in alignment to set people free from these types of bondages. Like, this is psychological and spiritual bondage that people are being put under, or like believing. And so that's why I always encourage people, do it for yourself. Read the Bible, question God for yourself, okay? Because that's what faith is. Faith is seeking right for you in your life and in your lived experiences. So I'm gonna call that out when I see it. So I don't necessarily know what she's done. I haven't really looked her up, but that comment, especially in a room of women who look like me, no. We gotta. That's why we offer other spaces. That's why we have this space. That's why Love will exist, because we are doing something different in this space.
Definitely take away.
Yeah.
Make sure that you
That's all.
are doing your own spiritual research, or your own, or you are on your own journey with God at the end of the day. Like, we cannot compare. We cannot be envious. We cannot pour hate towards someone else for what they are choosing to do, because it goes against what God is telling us to do in our daily journeys in the first place. So, like, it's just crazy. We live in a crazy world. Like, we know there's so much that continuously goes on. It's wow, but that's why faith is so important. Like, making sure that we are praying, that we are staying in community, having spaces like this where we can feel free to talk about it in unorthodox situations. Like, obviously we're not in church right now, but making sure that we are creating space where one or two are gathered. There he is. So yeah.
So do it for yourself, and that just leads to our encouragement. What everyone deserves. Everyone deserves to know God for themselves, like I mentioned earlier, and to stand in the fullness of your whole self. So whatever your whole self is, whoever you know yourself to be, live in that, show up in that in every space you occupy, because in that God is with you. And so please be encouraged to ask questions, to seek communities that help you with those questions, that don't judge you because of the questions that you have, or because of the experiences that you've had, or because of the music that you like to enjoy every now and then, because hell, you Black in America and you need an outlet. Literally, all of that, right? Live in that, take up space with that, and know that God is with you. And yeah, and Joy and I, we here for y'all. If y'all ever, would like to chit chat, pray, whatever it may look like, we are here for the community. And so be encouraged that you all deserve that, and that you have the power within to create that. Go ahead. So,
all right.
Yes. You queen. I failed on the last challenge, clearly. But
the challenge for this week, I'm trying
to
sit here and think of it in line to what we just sat up here and talked about. Okay, this is something that's definitely different. But we sat here and we're talking about using our voice. I challenged us to have a conversation with someone that has been on your mind. It could either be text message or phone call, but genuinely just taking time to listen to see how they are doing, and not, pour on to what you have going on. Just call them to check on them.
Okay. And I'm gonna add to that too, because in retro, and on the other end of that spectrum is to release yourself, or let of a relationship that is dead, that God has release it. Okay. Bye. So yes. Yep. Release one.
Go. I like that.
Water the other, as Joy.
Release and water. Water and release. Water and release.
Yeah. Water.
Oh, I love
whatever way y'all want to do it. Yes. Releasing water, because I think that's for myself, honestly, because there's something I need to, but I've been scared, so I think it's clear to me now. I just need to go ahead.
So you got to do it. So. Faith without action is dead.
Yeah, I know. Oh Lord. Okay, you want to pray for us this evening?
We have prayer requests.
Yes, drop them down. We always end with a prayer. I think
God knows our heart always.
God knows our hearts. Always. If y'all have any prayer requests, please drop them. Corey, I hope you were able to finish your writing assignment, your paper.
If we don't have any, I'll go ahead and close us out. Right. Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight just saying thank you for allowing us to gather in this space and take up space just in community, thinking of you and keeping you at the center. We just ask that you speak to us individually on whatever journey that you have us on, allowing for us to grow and evolve with you at the center, not to be judgmental, but to keep you at the focus and make sure that we're spreading love, continuing to own the things that we want to improve on and let loose of things that are holding us back from what you've placed on us to do. So we just ask that you continue to keep us healthy, keep us safe, and keep us mindful and positive in where you are directing us to be. And I just say all of this in your name. Get us through this week and enjoy tomorrow off and the rest of the week. And we just say all of this in your name. We pray. Amen.
And amen, amen, amen. Thank you, sister. All right, y'all. We hope y'all have a great rest of the week. Enjoy your day off tomorrow and the All-Star game.
And then we will be back on March 5th.
People. March 5th, yes. Oh, come on, actually, shameless plug. I don't know if y'all follow well, but our book club is back. So the Love Well, Read Well book club is reading Black Girls Must Be Magic. It's the second book of a 3-book series. So we're reading that starting in March. The book club will be the end of March. So if you want to join, check it out at Love Well Men on Instagram. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, we will see y'all on March 5th. Like, we're already in March.
I know. Episode 7. Ooh, lucky number 7. And if you want to be a guest, let us know.
So
we gotta get
all right. We'll
okay, I'm about to call you.
See y'all
later. Okay. See y'all.